In our last episode, we analyzed the opening played in the game between Tiviakov and Swedish in the World Blitz Championship. It was certainly an interesting game where Tiviakov sacrificed a pawn for the initiative, giving him enough of an attack to destroy Swedish's position. As we soon will see in today's game, which was played between the American Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura and the Dutch Grandmaster Sergei Tiviakov in the 16th Uddevalla Chess Festival of 2012, it differs quite a bit from the game between Tiviakov and Swedish. In today's game, Nakamura managed to suppress Tiviakov's game, giving him a really tough time defending a passive position without any kind of counterplay.
The game started out with e4 and e6, the French defense. But like we have seen in our last episodes, it's quite uncommon for grandmasters to start out with one opening only to transpose into another one later on. Nakamura chose to play the not too common d3, against which Tiviakov chose to transpose the game into the closed Sicilian by playing c5.
White decided to develop in the usual manner by playing knight to f3, which was followed by knight to c6, g3 and g6. It's a common tactic against the closed Sicilian to open up for the black squared bishop to take over the a1 to h8 diagonal. But if we take a closer look at the black position, we see that there are lots of empty black squares, and the best way for white to make this weakness tangible is to open up the position.
White chose to do just that by playing the rather odd d4. Many players would never consider such a move, since it seemingly throws away a move considering the fact that white has already played d3.
And also, as we all know, you typically need your moves in the opening to give you as much development as possible. But that doesn't mean that non-development moves are automatically bad. Certainly, they require more to be worth playing, but you still shouldn't filter them away just like that. After the exchange on d4, we suddenly have a position where the black weakness is obvious. But black was here too afraid to allow knight to b5 and played a6 to stop it.
Knight to b5 is without a doubt a dangerous move, but black should have probably taken the chance and developed his piece by playing bishop to g7. Because after knight to b5, black could play d5, sacrificing a pawn. After e takes on d5, e takes on d5, and queen takes on d5. If black would capture with the queen, white will win it back after playing knight to c7 check, followed by king to f8, and knight takes on d5. Instead of taking the queen, black should play queen to e7 check, followed by bishop to e2 and bishop to e5, giving black compensation for the pawn.
Even though black might have compensation, many players would still prefer playing white in this position, since it's often easier to play with a material advantage, especially when the compensation is as unclear as it is in this position. Black, not wanting to risk this, played a6 instead of bishop to g7, which was followed by knight takes on c6 and b takes on c6. Here, it's very important to suppress black's options and keep him from opening up his position.
White decided to advance with the c-pawn to c4 in order to stop black's advance with the d-pawn. This was followed by normal development from both sides. Bishop to g7, bishop to g2, knight to e7, and castle kingside.
White might have tried to stop black from achieving this with the d-pawn, but it doesn't look like he was successful. Tell us, why black won't play d5 now?
Well, black doesn't play d5 since the d5 pawn would be an easy target for white after an exchange on d5, followed by knight to c3. Not only is the d5 pawn under attack, but it's also pinned because of the bishop on g2. Black, not wanting to give white this focal point for his attack, decided on d6 instead.
The black position is absolutely not lost, but it isn't enviable either. White is the one with all the chances. Tiviakov never managed to get any counterplay, which made Nakamura's game quite easy, since he only had to strengthen his position and pressure black's obvious weakness on d6, which eventually led to the destruction of the black position. And with that, we end this episode of The Opening School. We hope to see you again next week.